you're getting more plays than the new Bad Omens Poppy collab.
We're taking over Baddiecore right here. I made my own Reddit hate thread about myself. Like,
nice.
You know, like, because I was just like, look, if you guys are gonna like talk, like, I'm at least like do it right. Like, it's annoying. Like,
how do you feel about in general like subgenres for metal and rock?
It's fun, but the part that's stupid about it is how people react to it more. So if something seems like a fun metal thing, I'll do it.
Dude, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. You just moved from Canada, right, to Florida?
Yeah, dude. I moved, 4 weeks ago now. So yeah, here living it up. I haven't tamed any alligators yet though, but we'll get on that.
I mean, see any lizards at least? Any snakes? Any kind of reptiles?
Everywhere. There's like the small lizards that are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
No,
cute. They're fun. They're like little dinosaurs hanging out.
Real life dinosaurs.
I saw an owl, which was the weirdest thing. I never saw an owl in Canada, but I saw a fucking owl for the first time here, just like on a tree, just in the middle of the day. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's an owl. They're chilling.
They don't have owls in Canada?
They probably do. I just never seen them. I never even saw a moose, dude. I'm a bad Canadian.
Wow, wow. Is a plural form moose? Is that meese?
This is too smart person for me, bro. I have no clue at that point. It's mooses. All right.
Moosei.
Yeah.
Dude, I've moved between cities, but within like a state, you know. I can't imagine packing up all your shit and going to another country, essentially. I mean, was it really overwhelming to do that as someone who creates content like 24/7? Like you can't really create while you're driving, obviously.
I thought of ways I could, but it's a lot. You think Canada and the US have a lot more like similar things when it comes to admin or whatever it might be, just like visa relationships and stuff. And there's some very minor things that are like, oh, I'm Canadian, this is easier. Yeah. But like it's so wild how everything is so different. So it was just a lot of setup admin things. Something as simple as like I have to change my phone number. Like they can't import a Canadian number, so then you change that, and then because you change your number, you have to change all your accounts and change all of this and that. It's like all those little things, which basically like you see the main quest and you're like, okay, moving this, get things sorted. But there's all the side quests that open up that you have to do first as you realize that it's like, all right, 5 different things I didn't know I had to do today. I guess I got to go do all of that stuff. So you just do
it's like when you first move in and you're super sweaty from moving all day and you just want to take a shower and then you realize, I don't have a shower curtain. I forgot to buy one of those.
Dude, oh my God. It was endless stuff like that. But yeah, it was a lot. And just trying, like, I was very just open with like my community. And so I was like, look, guys, like I'm moving. So like if I'm going to be spotty on YouTube, on Twitch and all this stuff, I still uploaded, but like I tried to do my best. Like that to me was like my vacation was like just straight up moving. So yeah, that's it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the only time you couldn't really stream like regularly and whatnot. So yeah, it does feel like a little vacation, even though you're constantly working the entire time. Because moving is no joke, man. I've hired movers before just because like I can't do that anymore. When I was younger, a few pizzas, some beers, whatever, I'll move. Like no way, man. Like it's now that like I'm an adult with actual like adult belongings and shit, like, it's too much, man.
Way too much, dude.
I don't know how people do it.
It's a lot of undertaking, but did it. I'm here. Hell yeah, brother. Traded in my Aether bud for a hell yeah, brother. And
there you go.
Figuring it out, man. It's been cool and saw a few shows finally here. And yeah, it's a vibe, man. First one was Mental Cruelty with Of Sulfur and there was a couple other bands. I forgot the name. Sorry, bands. And that was cool. I like more of like a local bar-ish kind of venue. And then the polar opposite, I saw like Disturbed at the Kia Center.
Sick.
I was like, oh shit, like this is cool.
Yeah,
it's a vibe. It's cool. I don't know. I like it. I like that it's hot. Not like frozen all the time. It's been a trip, but getting used to things and just getting back into like the get done kind of mode and being an idiot on the internet.
Did you run into any like viewers or followers at either of those shows that were like, Nik Nocturnal, like, what are you doing in Florida?
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It happened in Toronto too. Like, but when I go to shows, like it was very rare. There's only a few times, you go to Costco and they're like, "Are you the YouTuber guy?" And I'm like, yeah. But yeah, no, in Florida, especially, it's been a lot more of that. And yeah, at the shows, it was like,
right.
I know you from TikTok or something. I'm like, cool, like, hell yeah, thanks, I appreciate it.
I like that you went to the state probably like furthest from Canada too, like very tail end of the US.
I know it was the furthest because I drove here. I was like, that 20 hours on the Waze app really is a little intimidating, but you go, and it's
right.
It's a trek, just a lot of caffeine and dried meats, beef jerky, and you're good to go, bro.
A lot of processed goodness, man. Keeps you awake. You gotta be enjoying, because I'm from Cleveland, so like I'm kind of, it's pretty much Canada weather in Cleveland. It's just always cold and like very gray most of the time. So I'm sure you're probably very much enjoying being somewhere warm.
It weird. It still feels like a dream, kind of, because like I wake up and it's like blue sky and sunny, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't know that. And I know in Florida it does rain a lot. It's actually raining today. But I'm like, wait, I can go outside and the sun's like turned on, like it's working. Like
it's activated.
Like, it's activated here. In Toronto, it doesn't work. I'm like, it's different, man. It's and I hate the winter. Like it definitely affects me. Like, because I'm already like home a good amount. So like the least I want to do is like open up my window, bro, and like, like some air or something, like, or go for like a little walk, like for like 20 minutes, and like literally as soon as like in Toronto it hits like September, like not happening. Like you're not going outside, brother. It's not going.
I think like for about 6 months here, it's pretty much like around, you got daylight from like I think like 8 or 9ish until about 5 p.m. And so it's a very short amount of time. So like you're saying, you're in here creating, especially if like I'm in a basement, so I'm already kind of low on windows and stuff. And if you can get like 45 minutes of sunlight and walk to the mailbox, get some sunlight, some vitamin D, ICK that way, like, dude, awesome. Like, but otherwise the seasonal depression is going to hit pretty hard.
It gets me every year. So like, it's been nice. Just like, oh my God, like it's just been such a change. And I said, getting used to stuff has been so cool, and already having a lot of dumb, fun projects getting ready to just like roll. I'm like, let's go, man, back into it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back in the swing of things, making videos, getting it going. Because I feel like you're not really a YouTuber unless you've at one point in your life made the video where it's a thumbnail of you looking pensively at the screen and the caption is just like, it's time for a change,
Yeah, you have to do some of those. I mean, it's fun because like, I don't know. Over the years, I finally understood what I do on YouTube, because I would just did things. I don't know. Like, I'm a metalhead. I like listening to metal. I like writing metal. I like playing guitar. I like, listening to heavy, stupid shit. I like listening to weird stuff. I like playing games. I like seeing what's happening in the scene and stuff. So I was always just like, I don't know what I do, because I don't do anything like particularly very good. Like I know I'm not like the Jason Richardson of guitar, that's for sure, right? Who can like shred and do crazy stuff. I know I'm like not like the most professional in terms of like quality and like these crazy high budgeted videos. So I'm like, I don't really know what I do. I just kind of do my thing. And then I was like, oh, we do fun metal things. Okay. And that kind of became also like the little just thing everyone says all the time, and thing I just like, oh, now that I realize that, I'll just kind of lean into it. And if something seems like a fun metal thing, I'll do it. And if it's a video game or commenting or checking out a band or like writing a song and trying to fulfill a concept, that's kind of what I realized we did on my channel. And it just became a lot more relaxing. And then, when I want to have one of those serious videos with the thumbnail, it's usually because like I just want to like chill and talk, or like, I don't know, give like an update, which I don't do very often. But when I do them, it's, it's refreshing, and I just get to be like, hey guys, so like this is what's been going on, like in life, and just moved, and I did this and this, and I got this all planned. So like, there you go. If you guys want that information, cool. If not, like, all right, tomorrow we'll, I don't know, do another You Laugh, You Lose. Like, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, and it's been a lot of fun, and it also has given me more time to focus on bigger projects, like whether it's like the Octane thing or like a few other bigger projects and stuff when it comes to original music being released, and like just trying to fulfill these big concepts that you take a lot of time, but like I still need to upkeep like the YouTube and streaming and all that.
Yeah, I mean, people don't, a casual viewer might not really understand how much really goes into the back end of even making like a 30, 60-second clip you're putting up. Like, it can take a couple hours, and like, and you can't spend a whole day working on something and editing it and then not post that day. So it's like sometimes you gotta make a couple things so you have something to post and then also be working at the same time. Like, it's hard to catch up sometimes.
Oh yeah, and I was insane. Like, especially last year, I would. It was just nonstop. Like, I would be doing like working on 3 videos a day, trying to finish a song. I'd be releasing 2 songs a week through like streaming, and then doing the 3 days a week shorts. And like, I still have like a good chunk of that schedule, but like I dialed it way back because it was just like way too unhealthy. Like, I literally didn't go outside. So yeah, just trying to find a healthy balance with all that, but still making it where things coming out. And I, taking advantage of like just good, fun opportunities that just make sense.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like way more of a yes man, like just anything, like yes, no problem, no excuse, just do the thing, deliver tomorrow, good. But now I'm a bit more particular on like what's worth it to make me go insane, and if it's worth the time. And that's why I think in like bigger picture, fun things that are like, oh, that could be something cool that no one's really done. And I've kind of let it so like my Twitch streams and my YouTube are more a place for like just chill, like the fun things. And then every so often they'll see the realization by still utilizing those platforms of like, oh, here's the big picture thing Nick's been actually working on. That's a bit like cooler and a bit of a bigger concept.
They kind of get the breadcrumbs a little bit from the stream.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's been a really refreshing change, because for me as a YouTuber, I've always kind of just been like, oh, the YouTube's the end all be all. Like, if the YouTube's not doing well, then panic.
Hit the red button.
It's like red button. And now it's much more like, oh no, it's just everything kind of working in harmony. And if YouTube's not going so hot, like, hey, maybe the Spotify's doing well, or maybe Twitch is doing well, maybe the shorts are doing well, Instagram, like it doesn't really. It's all kind of spread over a lot of stuff, and as long as I know I'm doing fun metal shit with the community, like it's good, it's rolling, and everyone seems to be happy. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a creator, like, it's really tough to kind of put all your eggs in one basket on one platform. You kind of have to have kind of like, multiple rivers of pennies coming in, because if one thing goes down or one thing's, even if it's not, a platform could go down, but even if it doesn't go down, but your views are down, at least you've got something picking up somewhere else. You got stuff coming another way, and like, not even just like revenue wise, but like just following and viewership wise, you want to make sure you're giving all these different avenues opportunity to discover you on, because like you said, if the reach goes down, at least maybe, hey, Instagram picked up, or hey, at least my Twitch followers are tuning in.
Yeah, and it's weird because like it's all just numbers, and I always make fun of numbers because I think of it as just like a little video game at this point, like especially like how the industry works, like. So funny, like now that I understand how so much stuff works over the past years, like how monthly listeners work and all this stuff, and how stuff is being inflated. And I'm like, oh, it's just like a fun little video game. Like, so I'm just very open with it. And like the numbers don't have really that much meaning as much to me anymore, other than like being like a higher score in the game, just like if you're playing Pac-Man at the arcade.
Right.
But definitely, before, especially when I was just focused on one platform, I mean, and I know it's hard for anyone to care, because it's like, oh, you get to do the YouTube thing. Like, like, what are you, there's nothing to complain about, which like, I'm 1,000% super blessed to be able to do this, just like any YouTuber or like content creator, or musician that can make money doing it. But yeah, it's definitely like such a weird psychological disconnect when like you're doing like, let's say YouTube, and you're getting paid or whatever, and you get a check, and then the next month it's just like half. And you're like, yeah, that happened in like a real job. Like that's like really weird, like you don't go just to your 9 to 5 every, and then like, hey dude, this month I'm paying you half. And you're like,
right.
All right. Like that's like concerning, so it makes,
I know you did the same amount of work this month, but we're just going to give you half this time.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And then you're like, okay, problem maybe wasn't as quality, or was it this? And then you think so much, and it can like, I know a lot of content creators, like it takes like a big toll, which again, like it's like, I'm still lucky as fuck I get to do this as a living, right? Like, so like I'm not not complaining, especially in myself. Like even when stuff like that would happen, I'm not the type of guy that usually even would go to like social media and stuff and be like, this, or like, oh no, I'm sad because of this, I'd just be like,
Yeah.
all right, like this is that hurts. I'm just gonna deal with it and push. And over the years, after diversifying so much, like it definitely has made it so like I don't focus at all on that stuff. Like whatever it might be, it's just like, oh, okay, things are going. If I can pay rent, we're chilling. Like, great.
Right. Yeah, I almost view it like making content sometimes as gambling, because like I'm betting on this idea today. It's like okay, this is my idea I'm going with. I'm betting on this to hit the jackpot, and then if it doesn't, it's like, all right, well, that was my gamble today. I fucked it. It didn't resonate. It didn't land.
Yeah.
I'm back in the casino tomorrow. You pull that fucking
the numbers can be addicting, and that's why over the years, like I just stopped giving the power myself to the numbers and just being like, oh, it's just like a fun video game, and taking it more like if something does well, then that's like a bonus, instead of it like being a number that's like basing your worth and value as like a human being more so.
Like, oh yeah, you can't do that. That'll destroy your mental psyche.
It's tricky. So, and that's why I'm just leaning more into like, hey, let's do fun metal stuff. Like, I don't know. I've taken a much more chill approach over the years, and it's felt so much better and relieving, and just giving me humanity kind of back into life.
Well, and like you're saying too, like it's got to be tough, because I feel the same way. Like I had a hard time saying no to a lot of things for a while, and I'm getting better at it. But like you're probably in the same boat as where like you grew up being such a fan of music and being so in love with music and wanting to make music and all this stuff, and now you have a career. People are literally paying you money to do music things, and then also famous musicians want to interact with you. It's like it's so hard to say, like, how am I supposed to say no to David Draymond wanting to hang out and do something? It's like these certain like things like you never thought in your wildest dreams you would achieve as a kid. So like I feel like there's, at least for me, there's a part in the back of my head like, I can't say no to this. Like, this is insane. Like, someone wants to give me money for this? Are you kidding me? Like,
it's tough. It's just tough, not in the sense of, oh no, tough life. It's just like tough trying to find a balance of just making things work. Because I've been through burnout like so many times in my life, like intense, like messed up psychological, like bad burnout, where like normal humans are like, I'm stopping, or I'm taking a break, or I'm figuring this out. I would just burn. Like I didn't care. I would just like go through the fire and keep going and continuing the pace, and like very unhealthy. But then learning after the years of like just making things that make sense and prioritizing things that like make sense, and always just, again, because I have the fortunate opportunity to make it so I can make content that is just fun and do things that are fun. I'm like, every time I'll just lean into that, because it also makes it so all of that, like I could spend 20 hours streaming and we're just doing fun shit, and like it'll feel like nothing. Instead, or I could sit there for like 2 hours trying to do this like very intense, big concept thingy that like I hope it pays off, and there's a lot of pressure. And like it'll feel way more strenuous doing the 2 hours thing than like 20 hours and just like doing fun things with like the community that they actually seem to appreciate, actually enjoy a lot more than me putting all this emphasis on stuff that people don't even actually care about in the end anyways, other than myself.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're not enjoying it, then what's even the point? You can just go work at, I don't know, like McDonald's or something. Because if you're not enjoying it, then like why bother putting that stress on yourself of making the content?
It's got to be fun, and just, again, because I'm so fortunate that I can do something that is fun, that I enjoy, that I know like not many people in the world get the opportunity to do something they love as like their career. I'm like, any second that I am like not just like I'll check myself and be like, why am I not just like having fun like now? Like, what's wrong with you, Nick? Like, like little slap on the face, like, wake up and fucking, you get to do this shit. Like, go have fun and go do something cool. And there's people out there that want to do fun shit too. Like, go do fun shit and like enjoy and do some cool concepts. Like, you have an opportunity to do this stuff. So like what's wrong with you? Go. Like, wake up.
Yeah, the Twitch community is really cool for you too, because are you back to doing 5 days a week doing that, or how many days are you doing?
I'm pretty consistent with 5 now. Now that like I moved in, it's that. So I still do Tuesdays to Saturdays, like for like I try to do like 2 hours, like nothing too crazy. I know I could go longer, but 2 hours, and like it's a mixture of checking out news, seeing what vocalist is canceled, seeing like what fun games are like going around, seeing what new music is dropping, writing stuff, like, and just finding a healthy balance where the community can be stoked and always like be like, okay, like it's 5:00 p.m. EST, like something, if I can go do something productive, or I can go and chill with Nick. He's going to be doing some shit on Twitch, and it'll probably be something entertaining. So like, or I could put me in the background while they're, I don't know, doing like the homework or work or something.
Yeah. Yeah. You see this ambience for whatever project they're doing.
I'm aware how much because I'll even like be laughing. I'll be like, how many of you guys are like, especially when we're checking out like New Music Fridays, how many of y'all have me on the background right now while you're like at work? It's just like background noise, and I'm just like, everyone will be like, yeah. I'm like, I'm aware.
Yeah, well, and it's got to be a nice difference between like making content on YouTube where like you put all this effort into making a video, you put it out there, and then you get comments. Obviously, you can interact with the comments, but like obviously Twitch, like it's in real time. Like you're actually having conversations with people in real life as things are happening. So it's like a real great way to actually engage with your community, and then just really have fun. I think it's more fun like to get to talk to people and hang out with people, like because creating like in a vacuum like by yourself can just get like so. Like, I don't know, it's just not having anyone to like speak to. Like, that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast. Like, I was making all this content, doing the radio show and stuff. I'm like, I'm not talking to people. I'm fucking talking to myself. I'm talking to a computer like every day, Like, I need to start talking to people again.
Yeah, I mean, I did that for 10 years. Like, it's been a long time. And then when I start to stream a bit more and then realize, I can just, like, I'm checking out a new song. Like, why am I going out of my way to check it out by myself as if it adds some sort of special quality, instead of just checking this out with my community? And then I started to notice as I did that more and more, even when I put it on YouTube, even though it's obviously from Twitch originally, even people on YouTube feel like it's a better experience, it seems, because they get like chat there, commenting as well. It's not just me, and it feels more like a bunch of people checking out a song together instead of just like, Nick checking it out. I was like, like why am I like trying to like separate these two things of like YouTube content and Twitch content? And then I changed my mindset completely of just like, I'm just gonna, if I have a video idea, like why am I not just filming this like on Twitch? Like why am I not just doing this with my community, and like instead of like forcing myself to do it alone because it's more YouTuber-y. Doesn't add make a difference. So
I mean, it's kind of like work smarter, not harder. Really, you're already going to do the content anyway. You might as well do it live and have the extra.
Exactly, and it's things people want to see and do together anyway. So I'm like, why am I forcefully like not just doing this with my community? Like it's so stupid. So started doing that, and that was a big help. It also just like cut down the amount of like time I was spending on a lot of stuff because I could just knock out two birds with one stone. I was like, okay, like that's perfect. And once I start to do that a lot more, I get an editor. And like I said, just kind of dial back on things I was spending more time when that just wasn't worth it. I was like, okay, like this is a very healthy balance now. I can go outside for, an hour and not feel like, oh my God, like I messed the whole day of like things coming out and stream. It's been quite a change, just finding the balance while still like, again, to people, they still see the same amount of content coming out and they're just like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, it just doesn't stop. And I'm like, yeah. But to me, this is like, I'm in chill mode. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, they might see the same amount of content, but I'm like, this is easy to me. I'm just like chilled out. Like, this is like, I did it all on like Twitch already. Like, okay, like I don't have to worry about it. I'm not sitting here like I used to, 5 hours filming this, then another 5 hours editing this for the whole week, then doing the short, then also still streaming, and then also trying to write songs for the week, and then also finishing live stuff. It's like, I'm just kind of like chilling a lot more, which is great. And now I have more free time if I want to do bigger picture concept things.
Yeah, and I think there's more of an authenticity to the whole live concept because like you can't cover it up with. I mean, you can do editing later on, obviously, and I mean, I know you have an editor and stuff. You have to throw in funny GIFs and sound effects and things like that. But the raw content, you're not doing multiple takes. Like that's just you reacting to the song, or maybe not reacting if the song isn't good. Like whatever it is,
Yeah, it's just raw, and I'm like, well, people want that anyways. And also, I'm really bad at being a YouTuber in the sense, like, I am terrible with like the OG YouTube stuff. Like, not maybe OG, but like, I am. If someone gives me a script, for the life of me, I will mispronounce every word, no matter how hard I try. Like, if I'm thinking too much or trying to like relay a concept in a specific way that I'm really trying to emphasize in a very particular way, I will fail at it every time. Like, I do the best when I just sit there and I just like talk without thinking. I'm just like, this is what's up. This is what I'm trying to do. And, it won't come across maybe as cleanly as most people would, but it'll make more sense than me trying to make it come across more cleanly on purpose.
Right. And even if you did like practice multiple times and try to get, the pronunciation right or whatever, like somebody will still find something to critique about it anyway.
Oh yeah, I realized that too when it came to stuff. So I was like, I'd rather just like do my thing and be okay to like mess up, and like you learn how to like deal with that when I mess up, or like even when I'm doing guitar related stuff, like play something completely wrong for a second. I'm like, yeah, I mean that's real life. That's what happened. Like and like play off mistakes and instead make it into content instead of pretending like everything's pristine. Because I think I tried that for a couple of years to try to be like, okay, I need to up everything and be like a YouTuber and make everything like pristine, no mistakes, no anything. And it was just like so much work, and it just didn't feel as like authentic because like I mess up all the time.
Yeah, that's real life. Yeah, it's raw.
Yeah, it's real life. So like, and I feel like I can connect with people a lot more too when I'm just doing that, or like just being again myself without having to try to do all this extra stuff or make it like super pristine, and just and it could save the professionalism for like the creative aspect of like if I'm trying to work on a song or release something, like I'd rather spend all of my professional time and effort into like making something pristine and get it perfect that way than like if I'm filming something and being like, oh, that I did like a weird little face or I said that word a little like wrong, like and caring so much, like no one cares anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works for you because your comment sections are always like unusually positive, for an online comment section. Like I'm always like surprised like how there's very little, because I mean, you look like Finn and Kenty's videos or Anthony Fantano or even my videos, like lots of hate. I don't know. Maybe it's because if you have hair, you don't get as much shit. maybe it's bald music critics that get more shit. I think that might be the issue. But no, I mean, it's great that your community seems really like upbeat, like they're not shitty.
I just make fun of myself more than anyone can make fun of me anyways. Like I made my own Reddit hate thread about myself, like
nice.
Because I was just like, look, if you guys are gonna like shit talk, like I'm at least like do it right. Like fuck, it's annoying. Like it annoys me more when like people make up shit that's just like I don't even know where you can come up with something like that. Where it's like, look, I know my flaws. I will list all of my flaws right here and all the cringe things I do. I don't care. It's me. It's you deal with it, right? But like at least it's accurate then. Like so like I think like that's why like I'm just very like real with my community with that. Like I'm like, yeah, I know I say dumb shit. I know I do cringe shit sometimes. I know I'm not the best at anything, right? Like at all. Like so I'm like, I'll just be real with y'all. And I think people seem to understand that more. And even I still, get the hate comments and here and there, but like I think even people just understand if they want to shit talk me, like they're like, oh well, Nick already kind of said this about himself, or like people like like it's not really, there's not a lot you can say that already hasn't been said by like just myself even to myself. So I think they just give up really quickly. So like the haters don't even bother typing the message because
like, you beat them to it. So what, you actually create your own Reddit shit post about yourself?
Yeah, it's one of the most liked posts on r/metalcore. I'm very proud of that one, actually.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it was Nik Nocturnal as a poser, and I went all in on myself. Like I went all out. I'm like, here, like at least these are accurate memes about me. Like at least do it right. Like it's annoying when it's not has nothing to do with anything. Like I'm like, that's the more annoying part. At least make it accurate, bro. Like, so I was just like, I'm gonna do this proper. You guys suck at making hate threads. You're shit at this. Fucking get better. Like, so I went all out, and yeah, that's why it was like funny because it's even that like I could see the community like just like laugh it off and like be like, yeah, because everyone I feel like takes things so seriously all the time too.
Oh, 100%.
It's like the internet, but especially like in the music world, the music scene can be wonderful and sometimes not. And musicians too. Like I know a lot of homies and like talented and great, and a lot of people take things like very, very seriously. And I don't mean like professionally. I just mean like they're just serious.
Yeah,
right.
Very
like
stoic.
Of course. Yeah, like it's good to be professional, of course, right? Like I consider myself still professional as much of a dumbass and stupid stuff I do, right? But it's like it's so serious all the time, and I'm like, I know musicians that like if you literally just say like this wasn't perfect about their work, like they will like take the biggest ego hit ever, and it's like. Why, bro? Like, really? Like, what's like chill?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
like musicians that like will get somebody like will tweet at him like a joke or something, and they're like ready to fight over it. It's like, bro, it's just a joke. Like, calm down. Your hair looks funny in that photo. What do you want? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, and I have a lot of respect for musicians that will like just like have fun with themselves too, and like even in the memes in their community, like they'll like embrace them. You know, even from big bands, like they'll see memes and they'll like share and be like, yeah, this is like stupid as fuck, but like, okay, thanks guys. Like, you know, like it's just, it's like, all right, like I wrote this song like seriously, you know, but like I get it. There's like some random thing or noise I made and now it's like a fun meme and like, all right, like I got like, cool thing. So I have a lot of respect for guys like that too, because they're just like, they're just chill. Like they don't really care and they won't get like their ego destroyed because of someone, you know, writing a comment or something or like sharing a meme. And that's why too, like I'm just like some people just gotta like relax a little.
Oh yeah, I mean it's again, like we were saying before, it's supposed to be fun, you know. And if you're gonna take it that seriously, what the fuck? What's the point, man?
Yeah, some of the most professional musicians ever that are god tier musicians, super professional. I know, and they're just like chill. They're fun.
Yeah,
they just they don't. And then there's musicians that like are less professional, a little more lazy, and all this and whatnot. And they'll just be so serious. And it's like, if you're going to be serious, take your shit seriously. Actually get stuff done, you know? Like, okay, then.
Right.
It's a weird dynamic, which seems to happen sometimes in the scene. That's why I just like, with my channel, like, I know there's a lot of serious things happening in the scene all the time. And like, sometimes I cover it here and there and like, you know, we'll take it seriously. But a lot of times I'm like, I'd rather just focus on like the fun, lighthearted stuff. And I feel like the community around that and my community as well just seem to like feel like more of a vibe with that because you know they see serious shit every day and or maybe they just worked their you know they went to their job and they had a shitty day at work and they kind of just want to come home and not be dealt more things of why the world's shit. They just want to like laugh maybe like you know and like that's kind of what I feel like I guess the channel and what I've done the more previous years is feel like oh this is just like a chill hangout place for like people that like metal shit. Cool. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like I get into that sometimes too, where like if I'm making a video about like a news topic that's like a little more serious, I'll throw some jokes in there just to lighten the mood. And then I'll get comments like, how could you joke about this? And I'm like, I was just trying to, I guess I just won't bother next time. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I also feel like a lot of people like take serious things differently. Like in myself, like I, you know, when serious stuff gets serious and like serious shit happens in your life, you know, like you feel emotional and stuff. But like myself too, like, everyone copes differently. Like I try to cope sometimes by like making a joke, you know, for myself, because like that's the way you got to cope. You're like, that's really messed up. So the only way you can cope and take this information in is by maybe making like a little joke to like lighten it and make it not seem as like huge as it is. Right. And yeah, not everyone's obviously like that. You know, a lot of people take things seriously, very, very, very seriously into the core. And that's why too, like I just try to usually stay away from serious topics on my channel and stuff because I know it will be misinterpreted. But then when it's like, okay, this is serious and this is something that I feel strongly about, like, and I can talk about it, like, okay, we'll check this out and we'll be serious about it. But if it's like serious other stuff or like same thing, like political stuff, I don't even try. Like it's not.
Oh God,
stuff. I'm not going into any of that. I'm not touching it with like a 10-foot pole. It's not happening. All right, as much as people want me to. We're not going to do that. I've tried it like once here and there over the past 10 years. And when I did it, it doesn't feel good. So like, why am I going to do this? Like, it's not worth it. I'm just going to do fun metal shit and we'll do that. And I'm cool with that, you know?
Yeah, I love like anytime I do a story that like isn't political, but it has like a tiny, tiny fraction of a political component to it. Like maybe the video is about an artist who does like identify strongly on one side of the party or the other, but that's not what the video is about. But that's what all the comment section turns into is about that, you know? And before you know it, it's a huge ass right versus left like debate going on in the comment section. It's like, bro, we were talking about a music video here. Like what? Like how did this happen?
Dude, I know. I mean, it's I've had weird comments too. Like I used to listen to a lot more too. Like I was way into like the Russian like metalcore scene and stuff like that, like 10 years ago, and like listening to bands. And like I've shown like some of those like bands love and like whatever. I still listen to them this day, and I'll still show them. And like obviously because things are happening in the world, and I'll get like comments, you know, on like one side, be like, "How can you like check out this band or support it?" And I'm like, "Bro, like I'm Ukrainian." Like by the way, like, like first of all, like that's my actual like I'm Canadian, but like you know, like my family, like like Ukrainian, Serbian, like, and a little bit Russian. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, you can say what you want, but like, also, like, we're here checking out like music and talking about this stuff. Like, I'm not trying to get into that, but I'm always just like shocked when I get like those and so extreme messages sometimes. I'm like, bro, like, I get it. Shit, world's fucked up. I know the world's messed up, bro. Like, I'm aware of it too. But like, we're not here to talk about why the world's messed up. We're here to look at why this breakdown went dummy. Like, that's what we're doing. Like,
we can't dissect like the origin and like nationality of every single band member of every single band we listen to before we do it. Like yeah, I've had that before too. Like you're talking about a band that's like from a country. It's not even the whole band. It's like one member's from a country. It's like, they're supporting this. I'm like, I didn't know that. Like, because I just thought the track kicked ass. Like, that's all it was. Like,
yeah, people get very invested in that way, and I get it. But like, that's why, like, I've always, with what I do, I'm like, look, I'm not going to go too deep in that. I'm just gonna, let's have fun. Let's listen to cool shit. Let's have fun conversations.
Yeah,
and focus on that. Some positivity if we can, maybe a bit more than just negativity and all the crazy shit, because the world's a messed up place. I'm aware. I know that's why a lot of people probably feel more comfortable with metal because it's it's more isolated, like fun genre like that. Like, I get it. Yeah, that's why I tended towards it when I was younger too. I love this genre. It's like, let's chill. Like, world's crazy. Let's take a second, look at some fun shit, do some fun content, listen to fun music. And not overthink it. Let's listen to New Knock Loose because it goes caveman noises, and I just want to like smash something. Great.
Yeah.
There's not much more thought you need than that. Like, sick.
That's what I loved about the Nik Nocturnal Awards too, because like it felt like a variety game show, like just like so positive and upbeat, but like directed at our community, like the metal and rock community, which is cool.
You mean the Sleep Token Awards?
Yeah, sorry, my bad, my mistake. I wrote it down wrong. I'm sorry. The Sleep Token Awards. They swept like every category, right?
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was like, look, guys, and it was so funny because I was just telling my community, guys, this is the situation. Before I even made the nominees, I'm like, this is the situation.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so real with you guys because I know what will probably happen. But I like what, and I'm like, what should I, like, straight up even asked, like, on Twitch, like, well, what should I do, right? Do I limit it? Do I make it so no matter what, I can't nominate a band, in more than like one or two categories? And I'm going to do that this year instead. But like, last year, like, no, man, like, just whatever feels right should feel right. And like, if a band wins, they win. Like, people voted for them. Like, that's how it goes. Okay. And I was like, all right. And that's what we did. And it was totally fine. And like, that's why, like, I knew, like, okay, there's a chance that because it's Sleep Token, it's just going to win all the Sleep Token. And I can't stop it. Like, and same thing with EPs, like Spirit Box. I'm not going to just exclude it. Like, I could put Jesus's EP if he released one. And I'm pretty sure Spirit Box's EP is going to still beat it. I will put my favorite EPs, what I think is genuinely the biggest bangers. And I'm going to include the Spirit Box one, which is also a big banger. And if they just win because Spirit Box, that's not my problem at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's what people vote for, and and that's what happened. So I was like, cool. Yeah. So like, I'm. That's what I want to do, though. Even if it was the Sleep Token Awards, I was like, look, let's have fun. Let's celebrate metal. Yeah. Have some fun categories like Baddiecore or whatever, and just like, I don't know, like, just have a place where it's about celebrating metal and not giving a shit about, anything else and what's going on in the world. Like, and it was so fun, and I loved everything about it. I loved how it turned out, even if it was the Sleep Token Awards. And we're gonna, again, I have to just limit it on this year and make it so I can't nominate a band in more than like 2 or 3 categories, no matter what. Because maybe it's Bad Omens Award this year. I don't know. Maybe it's the Bring Me the Horizon Awards this year, right? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. So, yeah, it's fun. And this year too, like, we are going to do it again, and it's going to be bigger. I'm already talking with like Sweetwater and like maybe doing it on their campus and like making it this really hilariously big show just for the sake of like metal breakdowns and just like dumb fun shit and bigger giveaways too. Like, it's been fun, like, just seeing what we can do with the show, because the impact was so great. Like, just we had 20,000 metalheads live watching an award show where I was wearing an Amazon purple fucking suit and running around and talking about Sleep Token and Baddiecore and Best Animal Noise. Like, that's so cool. Right.
Yeah, the award show introduced me to Baddicore. I know that Craig Reynolds from Straight from the Path is credited with coming up with it,
coined the term. Absolutely,
he coined it.
I would talk about the genre. However, I would call it just like, like sleep token core or like TikTok core or like bad bitch core. But Baddiecore is absolutely the correct title, and that was coined correctly by Craig Reynolds via the legendary. It's going to be like a Bible, like showing up, like like tweet. Absolutely, Craig coined that, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I had all these other words for it. That's fine. I'll go with what Craig said. That's the correct terminology for it now. Let's do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to call it spicy metal. And then when I heard Baddiecore, I'm like, oh yeah, Baddiecore works.
That's the one.
Yeah, you're right. He should frame that tweet. You know how people frame tweets sometimes? Like that should be somewhere in his house, in his studio.
It should. The terminology made history, because that's exactly what it is. It's core music about feeling a little bit like a villain. It's not, and then I had to do a whole video describing it's not always sensual related. It's sometimes just about feeling like a baddie, like a little bit of a villain, like it sometimes correlates, with you doing like a thirsty type thing. Okay. But it's not always that. There was misconceptions. So I had to clear that up in a few videos describing Baddicore. So I'm glad that now the internet fully understands Baddicore. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like there needs to be like a whole Wikipedia page devoted to this. Like we really gotta dig our heels into this one, Baddiecore.
100%.
How do you feel about, in general, like subgenres for metal and rock? 'Cause I know a lot of people like hate the idea of like calling something new metal or calling something grunge. Like I personally, I think I like the idea. I like to separate people, segregate. No, I just like the idea of like putting like a fun name to something. I just find it fun. Yeah, I don't know why, but how do you feel about it?
It's fun, but the part that's stupid about it is how people react to it more. So you know what I mean? It's like how people, their perception of how they deal with the names, instead of it just being like, oh, it's just a fun, stupid name for like whatever it is, like to help identify. We always, obviously as humans, just like to put things in patterns and like organize them in like neat little ways, which won't happen with metal. Metal's way too weird, bro. Like it's not going to happen ever properly. So it's more, I think, an issue when people take it so seriously and they're like, this has to be, new metal, or this has to be deathcore, instead of just like, it's whatever. And you can death slam, pop, hyper popcore. Who cares? Like it doesn't really matter. It's more like a fun title. So I feel like it's just more of an issue that the genres exist is only when people take it so seriously that they exist, instead of like it being really the genre's problem. Right. That it's a thing, because it's not. It's fun. Like people just gotta like, again, just chill, call things fun shit. It does not matter at all. I know in the 2000s, like bands were so pissed when they were called metalcore, like deathcore and stuff like that. And now, when the bands don't care, you get PR messages saying bands FFO for fans of now, which is even more intense of like a distinguishing, put them right in a fucking corner type of band and categorizing them. So it's like, genres, like people just gotta chill, bro. Like it's just a fun name, man. Like if you don't like it, then call them the band. Okay, cool. Call it the band's name.
Well, yeah, I mean, and there's so many bands out there like striving for attention and trying to get like heard. So like like you said, like literally like for fans of Bad Omens and Sleep Token, you're gonna like this. Like they need something to grab your attention, like because you're getting 1,000 fucking bands submitted to you. So like anything that will like this Baddiecore band sounds just like Bad Omens, and it's like, but then it kind of sets you up to be like, oh shit, like do I want to hear another Baddiecore band that sounds exactly like Bad Omens? We already have a Baddiecore band that sounds like Bad Omens. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why it's just like whatever. And I think nowadays the bands that stand out the most are the ones that are just, they're not thinking or caring. They're just like, here are my influences. I like all of this stuff. Let's put it in a pot, see what happens, and if it's sick, it's sick and great, and just go on, and it's going to instantly be identified as like new metalcore or Baddiecore or fall slam wave or like whatever, like by people, and like that's fine. People are just going to do that to be able to be like, oh, how do I find more of this band? Oh, okay, well they're categorized kind of like here, so like let's go and look at these categories of these bands that are similar, and maybe we'll get similar sounds of stuff I like, right? But people that take it so literally and seriously, like just come on.
Yeah, what's that classic like argument? Like, is it progressive technical death metal, or is it technically progressive death metal?
So stupid. I mean, I oh god, when people are like, even stiff stuff is metalcore technically metal, and like stuff like that. Like, I'm like, bro, come on, man. I can only rant about this so much on Reddit, bro. I can only go, like, I can do a 30-minute if you need me on here on Twitch. I'll talk about it. But like, it's just stuff like that. Like, no one cares. No one actually cares. So that's just, just chill. The bands don't care. Most viewers don't care. The media doesn't actually care, bro. Like, just
relax. A few people that haven't been outside very much that care. That's about it.
Just listen to your breakdown, chill, bro, and like, just vibe it out. That's it, man.
Speaking of genres, your latest single, Octane, pokes a little fun at the Sirius XM Octane crowd. Fucking banger. I love it. When you wrote the song Octane, did you have any thought in your head that Sirius XM Octane would be like, yeah, we like this song that makes fun of us. This is cool. Let's put it on the station.
Well, like, okay, when I did the short, of like how to Octane core, which was fun. And when I make fun of things, it's not like I hate you, I'm making fun of you. It's like like we have fun. I make fun of myself all the time, right? And I'm even all the bands that I do like a how to, like that are stereotypically categorized with some like fun fucking noise. Like, again, like so many of the bands like take it so well and like have fun with it, and they're like laughing and commenting themselves. They're like, okay, like, nice, bro. Like, okay, we get it. Like, cool. But yeah, that's why when I did that, I was like, I really have any intention. I was just like, let's just have fun, because I know, especially in like the metal scene and like the core related scene, like, it's a thing, like bands that have, especially bands that have been heavier, let's say, or like more metalcore related, and then they've transitioned to this more like friendly approach when it comes to song structures, when it comes to like dialing back the riff, when it comes to like spoon feeding a bit more, and I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I know. And I know the bands that are being talked about, like, of course, I'm in the scene too. And I was like, okay, like, let's have some fun with this. Like, let's try to do like a short, like, okay, how would I make like one of those like Octane core, as I kind of titled it, just because it's like, those are a lot of the bands that are played on like rock radio and stuff like that. Type things. I'm like, okay, well, we would, take like a riff, like more of a butt rock riff, 10-12, like, all right, we got that. We would, have obviously huge chorus. We'd have 808s and production in the verses, a single scream, only the one scream, because too much, I don't know, bro, it might not be played. We don't know. It could be too scary. Not too much double kick. If there's more than 5 double kicks in a row, bro, not happening. That's not.
You don't want to scare the dads.
Like, exactly. Just kind of playing the line of like the fun, like that the metal scene has and what they think of radio, and like what radio, like their limits are of playing more extreme music. So I was like, okay, let's try to just like have a fun little short doing that. And I did that. And then like someone at Octane, might have been, I don't know if it was Vinny or someone was actually like Octane shared, whoever runs the socials at Octane. I was like, oh, cool. Like they saw it and they like, a fire emoji. Like it was fun to them. Like, oh, that's nice. Like, I'm glad they like enjoyed it, because, my intent's not to make someone be like, fuck this person. Like it's not. It was like, oh, I'm glad they watched it and like probably had a little laugh. Beautiful. And then I shared that and I was like, yo, if you want a full version, I'll do it. And then again, whoever was running the socials was like, challenge accepted, like, let's go. And I was like, okay, like, I guess I'm going to do it now. Like, sure. And when I do stuff like that, it's very fun for me, just because it's like a concept and it's like me challenging myself. Cause I don't know if I've never tried to like write a more radio rock metal leaning song. Like I know the structures and the musicality behind it and the ins and outs. I've never gone out of my way to like write a song and be like, I'm going to do it just for radio. And this was the first time I was like, okay, well, I'm doing it just for radio, but I'm doing it for the meme. So I was like, okay, I take memes very seriously. I don't mess around with my memes.
Clearly, you meme so hard into a rock radio hit.
Exactly. So when, they said they were doing it, but again, it's just, I don't even know who's running the, the page. Like, I don't know if it's just some random person that I was like, yeah, sure, bro. Like, so I was like, I was taking it with a grain of salt. But I was like, okay, like, challenge accepted. Like, let's just do it anyways, even if they don't play it. I don't care. So I wrote the whole thing instrumentally. And I had so much fun, because when you write a song like that, it's way more based on production than it is like riffage and like the metal side.
Right.
It's way more built in with like the 50 layers of productions and the impacts and all of that. So I
You're not getting in a room jamming with a bunch of people, really.
Yeah. I had way more fun just doing like, let's go on producer mode instead of like guitarist mode. Like, okay. And writing the whole instrumental, I finished it and I hit up my homie too, who I work with on Death Funk and a bunch of stuff. And I was like, he's a really good producer. I was like, yo, you want to like tie in with me on this? And he was like, dude, I got you. And he also added like such sick like layers and little synths and like little ear candy. I was like, bro, this is sick. And I had this instrumental, which I was like super stoked on. I was like, well, who do I get for a vocalist? And I was just like thinking of all the bands that I think could ace the like voice. And I like within 5 minutes, DL, like Bad Wolves. Like I was like, oh yeah, like obviously. And it's cool because he also has the background of coming from like the Acacia strain, and like homie knows when to get dummy. Like he knows what that word actually means, you know, like he comes from one of the heaviest fucking bands in the whole scene. Like he knows if I'm like, okay, we're chill, we're radio rock here, and then we're dummy breakdown. He'll just say no more. You know what I mean? Like he knows what that means. Yeah. So I was like, perfect guy. And he has the perfect voice, and he's so good. He writes insanely good melodies, and he does production. So like, oh, this is beautiful. So I hit him up through Doc, and then Doc got it all sorted. DL was down with it. You know, it took a bit, and we got things sorted. And then he sent me the Vox, and I was like, oh, he understood the assignment. Like, good. He understood the assignment. And then I had the whole song, got it mixed, and I sent it to. And then while this was going on, Jose invited me on the show to talk for like a takeover, which was super chill. I actually wasn't expecting that at all. And just over the takeover, he mentioned the Octane. He was like, "Where's the Octane song?" I was like, "Oh, like you guys do want this? Like, okay, like we're it's in the works, bro. I got you. Just give me a second." And he was like, "Yeah, like Vinny said he would play it." I was like, "Shit, okay, like it's great." So then when we finished the song, I hit up Vinny. I was like, "Bro, your song is done. Like, here you go. Your the theme song is done." And
that's so badass. Yeah, it literally is like the Octane theme song.
I was like, yeah, like bro, if it's a pleasure to write an Octane theme song, you know, because like it's if Octane even hit me up directly, like Nick, we want an Octane theme song, I would have done hell yeah, and I would have. That's the point. Made it the best of that type of vibe I could, and just like fully commit. Yeah, that's what I like doing. Fully commit to concepts. And not like you let ego or any of that shit get in the way of like, oh, well, the riff, you know, like it's not technical enough. No one cares. Just commit to the concept and make it sick. That's all I wanted to do. And then I sent it to Vinny. He was like, "This is sick. We'll premiere it." And I was like, "Oh, sick." Cool.
Was there anyone? Were there any other vocalists on the short list to do the Octane track, or was DL like the end all, like away?
I just thought DL, and I didn't really. I know there's other vocals I probably could have hit up in that sphere that I know would kill it, like Danny from like Ashes to New. I know would have aced it, and it probably would have given it more of like a Linkin Park vibe, which would have been also cool. But in terms of like that very, very like I don't know, like baritone voice, like big sing, like rap vibe, I was like DL's the man for that. Like, and I'm just happy he said yes. If he said no, I don't know where I would have gone with it, but I was just very stoked he was down. And then they had a lot of fun with it. And it was so cool that them talking with stuff with like management, and even myself talking with management, who's like nicest dude ever. He's super chill. He was just on board with it. And when it came to release and me talking about radio, I'm asking like, because nowadays obviously bands can either put feature the artist or feature the band because of primary, and then the monthly listeners, fun video game things. Because that's how the music industry is. I was like, does Bad Wolves want primary? You know, like, do they want it to be like kind of a Bad Wolves song on their streaming and shows up on their platform too? And then they also get monthly listeners. And they're like, yeah, put Bad Wolves primary. I was like, oh fuck, okay. Sick.
Yeah. I did notice that the Bad Wolves was credited on it. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, like you said, it is kind of a game now. You kind of have to strategically, label things.
It's how it goes now. Like people have noticed. That's the thing. That's why I just like have fun with it, because like I think a lot of the industry thinks it's like this big secret that you like primary a band instead of the feature. It's so because then the band just gets the monthlies too, and I'm like everyone wins. So it just makes more sense. It's like a YouTuber collaborating with a YouTuber. If there was a way we could dual upload on the same channel, hell yeah, we would every time. Instead of
dude, yeah,
you know what I mean? And it counts as like one singular view that gets added to
that would
both.
be a game changer. That'd be a huge game changer.
Again, like we don't have that as YouTubers, but like, are you kidding me? As with YouTubers, when you collab with people, that's number one what we would do, instead of like I do the YouTube video and then I feature someone else's channel and you put the at their channel and then people like slowly go there. No, I mean, that's just such a better natural integration, and Spotify and streaming just allows you to do that in like nowadays. So it's just like, well, why not? I get that some bands don't like it because they want their like Spotify to be very pristinely just
like clean, only their shit. Yeah,
very clean. Yeah, right. And some bands just are like much more open to it, and I love that they were just like, yeah. And I was
those tend to be the bands that get more traction than ones that are down to try shit and do like whatever, throw everything against the wall and hope something sticks, man. Like that's kind of what you have to do a lot of the time.
And I gotta give mad credit to them, like management, Bad Wolves, DL, and the label, because I work with a lot of labels in terms of like A&R, all lovely people. Labels like their red tape. They're very territorial about their artists. They're very like, this is our artist. Why is your name here? You know, and
they've always been really cool. Like, kind of opened the door for me as well. Like they're super great label.
So
like,
respect Better Noise for just being like, let the idiot YouTuber do his thing. Like, you know.
Did you see the way that artists are kind of getting screwed on TikTok recently with so you know about the Universal Music Group stuff, right?
God. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So anyone listening, like basically a third of all the music that you listen to is on Universal Music Group. So all those artists got taken down from TikTok a couple weeks ago, like all their music. But this last couple of days, any artist who has a songwriter credit on their song from a Universal artist got their stuff taken down. So like people who are not on Universal Music Group got their completely independent artists are getting their music removed from TikTok because they had somebody help write them a song that is published by Universal Music Group. Like you just type in like Hoodie Allen and like some other random like smaller artists and stuff.
Oh god!
Like,
dude, that sucks. Yeah.
So not only are you obviously screwing over the artist there, but that artist is not going to want to work with that songwriter anymore because of that. Because I'm not going to write with that songwriter if I'm not going to be able to put my stuff on TikTok. So then it kind of hurts the songwriter too. Like, damn.
Yeah, man, that sucks. That's really bad. I don't know what's going on there. I just, again, when it comes to that, so I just try to stay away, like, because there's so much red tape. I've dealt with my fair share of red tape on my end of the years dealing with like the industry that I'm just like, oh man, I'm not dealing with that. Like, I'm very much a person that with content and like my just everything, even on Twitch, like I preach like kind of that independence. Like, again, like you need a label and you need a label and you need this and that, but like I'm very much just like everyone should have that capability to be like I'm my own musician. You know, and that's not something that's common. Like a lot of people think, oh, the bands have all the power that they can do it, or like the musician in the band has the power to do this or that, or like, no, like it's not how the music industry works, man. And that's something that's always been like sad for me to see as like a musician, YouTuber, or whatever. And that's something I've always like preached. And whenever I see in the music industry, like people being homies and preaching that for themselves, especially like big bands, like I'm always like, hell yeah, I love seeing that because that's so cool because it doesn't limit the bands and stuff like that. Exactly, like Universal, like whatever, they were trying to get a fairer deal, but like, you know, not being able to utilize TikTok, like you're just limiting like so many of your artists, and it's just sad. And I knew are you kidding me? If I was on Universal, I would have made like 50 like right now, and my music was just taken off of TikTok. I would have made like 50 YouTube videos just complaining nonstop and calling out Universal and calling them like the worst things in the world and calling out TikTok too, like because like I just wouldn't be having that. But it's sad to see stuff like that because the artists have no say. They just get told by management, our songs are off TikTok. Sorry, bro. Yeah,
and the spiderweb effect of it, of like hitting independent artists, is just like the most because like when it happened like a couple weeks ago, I had to go through all my videos and like replace sounds and stuff. And, you know, because it muted every video that I had out there that had like one of those artists on it. So I had to go through and do that. And then a couple of days ago, I wake up and I got like all these notifications and my sounds are muted again. I'm like, what the hell? And that's what it was. It was, you know, people who weren't even on Universal, but they work with like, you know, Joe Blow, who works for Universal. It's unfortunate, man.
That's so sad.
Hopefully it gets sorted soon. I think they will. I think they will get sorted. I think it's all just, you know, a big kind of like, you know, obviously it's a money play, but they're gonna get back together like at some point. They're not gonna just be off TikTok forever, you know.
Hopefully, I don't know. Because music industry also like there's the egos, bro. Like that's when it comes to that. Like I've seen endless amounts of egos where I don't even think at that point they'll get to the money part. It'll just be like TikTok. I remember seeing TikToks like message back and laughing because I was checking it out on Twitch. Like, and like seeing their tweet back, like it was so funny because they were just blatantly saying everything of how Universal is shit and it's their fault that their artists are suffering now. And like I just think that stuff's so funny because like you can tell, like it's
like sorry, you're greedy dicks.
Yeah, like and it's getting to that personal level where even if they try to resolve, like they almost don't want to because it's like it's everyone wants to be the right one, you know what I mean? And like the egos get in the way. Meanwhile, the people who suffer are the bands, and then also the consumers, which is really sad, like the fans. And I'm just like, sucks. Like that's just how it goes. And yeah, the industry is going to always get in the way of that. And you know, it's so fucked because I always say this too. Like the only reason the industry has power is because of not the bands, I guess, but like the fans. It's literally the whole scene. The scene is the only reason the entire industry has any power over anything or has bands. You know, and that's why when it sucks that the fans are the ones that always have to get shit on through stuff like that, but they're the ones that are the reasons that the industry and all this stuff has the power to even do what they're doing. You know,
you're right. Yeah, if we all collectively stopped consuming whatever it is, like we all stopped like listening to those songs, or if we all stopped using TikTok, which we're not going to, but if that all happened, if we all decided like to have a boycott, like fuck this, like we're done listening to music, I guess we're all boycotting music, then the industry was shut down immediately. Like there'd be nothing driving it.
It's a weird dynamic, and that's why also I want to, when I did Octane, I felt it as like this fun thing of like, because I know how radio works a lot of the time, stuff with the back end. Sometimes, you know, it's and nowadays I think it's way better than it ever used to be. Before it was literally just, you know, like labels and just here's a song. Is it from a label? No, we don't give a single shit, you know, like in that, and very like particular of like very industry. And I think now it is a lot more chill, which is really cool, and I love seeing that. And that's why I was like, look, I'm just random YouTuber metal guy, like. Can I achieve this concept right now? And we actually get a song on radio where I'm getting my community to help push this because they're so stoked on the idea of that happening and actually getting on radio and getting played. You know, it's like giving the power back to the community to make something like that push. And even I checked, I was checking on like the Sirius XM playlist website or whatever that shows you how many times something's been played. I don't know how accurate it is, but
it's pretty accurate.
It is? Okay. Yeah. Watching that. And I checked exactly 1 week for Octane, and it was I was like, holy shit! It was number 8 most played within a week period, and it was played
really
40 times or 39. If it was played 40, it would have been number 5. I was just like, yo,
I'm trying to bring it up right now, see if I can find it.
Yeah, it was wild seeing that, and I was just like, yo, community, thank you, like. We went for the number 1. We tried, but like it was cool just to see that. And like,
dude, there's still time to get on the biggons, man. I think you can do it.
Yo, guys, play Octane. Push it. Just add Octane. Play it.
Let's see where you're at here. God damn it. I'm so bad. See, this is why I was never good at doing Twitch stuff. I can't like talk to somebody and like type things at the same time. Like. I'm so fucking bad at this. Like I'm literally like typing with one finger and I'm trying to have a conversation with you and it's not working.
Dude, no, it's it's just like funny like seeing stuff like that. And again, big credit to the fam at Octane, like everyone like making it happen and just being so chill and fun about it. Like I'm glad. Like those are one of those things where it's just win. Everyone wins. The community gets to have like a cool track. Octane gets a theme song. You know,
yeah, dude.
And it's like great. Like that's fun. Like it's birthed from a meme. And that's something that I'm so cool could like become like full-fledged and full force of meme, you know, turning into a top 8 song on, you know, Octane. Like hell yeah. Like
I mean, like, according to these stats here, you're getting more plays on Octane than Green Day. You're getting more plays than the new Bad Omens Poppy collab. Nik Nocturnal and Bad Wolves are getting more plays than Bad Omens and Poppy. So suck
Who's
it,
the real
Bad Omens.
Baddiecore now? Bad Omens. We're taking over Baddiecore right here. Octane Baddiecore. It's Baddie Badtane. We'll figure it out.
That's got to be one of the future planned how-to videos, right? How to Baddiecore in 30 seconds. I mean, that's got to be in the works somewhere. I'm just going to
do straight up how to Bad Omens, but I've been...
there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I should have waited till they drop like a bigger thing than just the single, but like, yeah, I'm whatever. Yeah. I have to do how to Baddiecore. You know, there's a few that I know I have to do, and it's just been fun. But that's why just having fun with the modern metal scene, I love how I feel like it's evolved over the years, and it's just everyone's doing a bit more of different shit, even though it's still, you know, like it's everyone's just like, okay, what's the trend? Is it Thal? Is it Baddiecore? It's still like, I feel like bands are trying more things. I feel like fans are like more open to like whatever, and it really just comes down to, is it a banger? Like I think fans are caring less about like, does it have this or this or this stereotypically? Is it sick? Like, and bands are better at writing just 6 songs instead of just like, it has to be this, or it has to have a chorus like this or this. Just like, is it awesome? Is it sick? Is it instant replayability? Like, is it a banger? Is it something fun? Does it have some spice to it? Right? Great.
Yeah, that's how I always feel. Like I really don't. I love the subgenres that are fun to do, but like, I don't care if someone says to me like, "Oh, that's not really a metal song. That's like pop metal." It's like, I don't care. It's catchy and it has great riffs. Like, that's all I fucking care about. Like, I don't care if it doesn't have enough like chugga chuggas for you. Like, okay, like that's not why I'm listening to it. You know?
I mean, it's that's what happens. I feel like there's less of that, but also I don't think that it's the worst that it's some, because in everything that people care about, I'm glad at least people care enough to hate on something to a point. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, I like passionate hate.
Yeah, like there's like, that's one of my favorite things about that. I also, one of the reasons I wanted to do like the Nik Nocturnal Awards show was like how there was like E3 every year. You know what I mean? Like with gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that wasn't a place, well, trust me, where everyone was so positive. You go watch E3 because you want to see the one game you wanted to see, and you want to shit on the other 20 games that looked terrible, that were random indie developers that randomly ended up on Nintendo. And you're like, how is this acceptable? Right? Like, and it felt like that fun community thing where people were just always talking about things. And like, it comes with the good and the bad, you know what I mean? But it still felt like this big community. And that's something I was like, even when I was trying to think of the awards, I was like, there's not like, where is the thing for the metal scene? Where is this like funner event that people can come together and shit talk, as well as, you know, like be stoked on things and celebrate metal of the year and like go over. And I think seeing more of that stuff excites me, which is why I just want it. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do it then. Like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Absolutely. Are you thinking about doing like an in-person kind of more of a convention style for the next one?
Oh, not the next. We're trying to take one thing at a time. So if we do next time, it might be live guests and like live performances. We're still figuring that out.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like stack it of like that plus live audience. It would be like let's take it at its pace. Yeah. I was very happy with last year. I think it was a great success. Super stoked, figuring it out. This year, thinking bigger. If we ace it, amazing. Then we'll kind of keep expanding, and then maybe one day it will be this bigger thing, which can be that like stupid conventional thing where I'll just get a different Amazon purple suit every year and like, you know, just see what we can do with it, man. But it being a fun place to celebrate, you know, modern music, modern metal, and, you know, getting people to just talk about it, even if it's them, I don't care, shitting on me and my taste the entire time and being like, where's my favorite thrash band? You're garbage, you core kid. Sick, great, tweet it, talk about it. I want more people to talk about it. Let's go, you know, like, I don't care if it's that. I just want it to grow and be this bigger thing where there's just conversations and people care, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's important, is people caring about the scene always, because that's the scariest thing, is the scene getting so boring that no one cares, and not even the fans, or then the bands stop caring, and then it's like, it's just music for, you know, just that's just existing music without people talking about it or discussing it. It's just, all right, new song, cool, next, you know, like that's sad if that ever reaches that point. So I just don't want it to ever get to that.
Yeah, it needs some fanfare, you know, it needs some fluff, you know, it needs
some
something
spice.
Around.
It needs a little like, let's go, man. A little bit of like, what happened here? You know, oh my God, this new track is kind of trash. Oh my God, this new song is banger. Like, we need a little bit more of that and discussion and like just hype. And I think the scene is going in a healthy way with that. I just want to see it go that way and not the opposite way, basically.
So, you know, it's got to be crazy because because Sweetwater sponsors this event, and I know if you buy a microphone from them or something, they harass you for the rest of your life with phone calls and emails for love and support. So I can't imagine working with them. They must just like text you all day, like, Nick, how you doing? How's it going? Sweetwater, just checking in.
Dude, honestly, and that's the thing, because like, especially from the YouTube brand, like I've worked with tons of companies before in the past, and I don't really do like sponsored videos anymore because I just don't care. And like, if I'm going to do something, I'd rather do it with like a company I really like.
Yeah.
And for this, we had Sweetwater and Neural DSP, like co-headline, basically support it. And then we had like people do giveaways like Ernie Ball and like Logitech, and it was like, and Streamlabs, which was super sick to see.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they were just chilling. The reason I wanted to do it with them is because they were just like, yo, we love metal. This is cool. Do your thing. You know, what do you need? Like,
that's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, and they didn't ask anything else. They weren't like, show this many times or make the shit. They were just like, you know, Neural was literally like, you just put the Cortex on the screen. and that's why when they just gave me that freedom to like, trust that they knew that, because they wanted to be a part of an event like that, and they love just the scene and the metal scene. And they're like, look, even if we like maybe just break even on the amount we're helping to fund the event, like they don't care. They're just chill with it. You know, it's not like this businessy, you know, to the number 5XR, you know, return on investment type thing. They didn't care. They were just like, can I prove to the higher ups that we won't go broke from giving you this? That was like the line. And I was like, okay, well, we're doing this, and you'll see your product here, and you'll probably convert maybe around like something like this. And they're like, cool, that's all we needed. Do your thing, Nick. We trust you. Don't, you know, like, just don't get us canceled.
Well, and like, that's what you really will hope for anytime you work with any kind of sponsor or brand, because like, it's the worst when someone comes to you like, we love your content, we love what you do, we want to work with you, and then they try to like change everything that you do to fit. It's like, do you really like what I do then? Because you just want me to promote your stuff on my platform. That's all it is. You just want my audience. Like, you don't actually like what I do.
Exactly. And that's why like all the people I worked with that, which was such a blessing. They were all just so chill. They didn't care. They're like, Nick, you know what you're doing. This is your audience. Like, I don't want to fucking market to your audience. It's you. You do your thing. Like, you know, and like showcase how you want to showcase.
That's awesome.
And it was great. And it went very well too for them and everything. And they just put trust, and it was cool because I've never seen the community be stoked to like have an advertiser there. You know what I mean? Like, they were stoked. It wasn't like, hey, this is sponsored by like Neural and DSP and Sweetwater. Like, oh, here comes the, you know, whatever. It was like, hell yeah, bro. We have free giveaways. Like, they were stoked, man. Like, right.
Yeah. It wasn't like it was sponsored by like some kind of VPN site or something. And they're like, I don't fucking care about this, man.
Yeah, here it goes. You know, it was like, the community was stoked. And even like Neural, Sweetwater, and like they did like $8,000 of gear worth of giveaways, just like
that's
for
awesome.
Watchers. And like, that's why like that feels like a community fun event. Like, and I was so happy how that turned out. That even this year, like I got some offers from like, you know, more corporate-y entities. And I was like, go away. I don't even want to, don't talk to me. I was I instantly was like, Neural and Sweetwater, you guys want to do this again? We're going to go a little bigger. Is that chill? Yeah? Cool. Great.
Hell yeah.
Done. And that's it. You know, simple as that.
Dude, I can't wait, man. I have high hopes for the Sleep Token Wars Part 2.
It's going to be Bad Omens Awards, probably,
Bad
bro.
Omens Awards.
Bad Omens Awards. Yeah.
Well, dude, it's been awesome chatting with you. Before we get out of here, since you are American now, you got your U.S. citizenship here. Okay, first of all, do you know what Mount Rushmore is? Is that
it's the mountain with the faces of the people that were important at some time? It
does. I was gonna say, like, I don't know any like Canadian architecture or anything like that, so I wouldn't feel bad if you didn't know what Mount Rushmore was.
There's no Canadian architecture. It's called snow.
Yeah. So the four faces. So what would be your Mount Rushmore of metalcore bands? The four metalcore bands.
The big four. Oh shit, dude. Okay. Killswitch, get in there. Done. It's done. Like, you can't. Don't stop trying. Everyone else, don't even at me with it. Killswitch. Okay, now we can move along. So Killswitch, all that remains, man. Like, it's all that remains. With Fall of Ideals is a perfect metalcore record. It's so tough. That is so tough. It's pristine. Also, Bullet, which I know some people won't be as happy with, but I think Bullet, because I know they're more on the emo side of things, but they also made emo kids like metalcore, which is like the 100%. Craziest thing ever, right? So that's why I think Bullet 100%. And The Poison's God tier banger. And I guess like a Trivium. I'll put Trivium.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Trivium. It's tough. There's a few really good picks. Trivium. That's the Mount Rushmore of metalcore easily. Dude,
hell yeah! I would definitely see a concert at that fest or a concert at that mountain for sure. That's a good. That's a good Mount Rushmore.
I would fly to Mount Rushmore. I don't know where it is, but I would be like, "Where's the ticks, bro? Like, let's go see." I was so, oh my God, when I saw the Poison and Ascendancy, I was like, bro, that's...
Dude, I was supposed to go to that tour when I was in town here. And I think I got sick because I was supposed to do an interview with the guys too. And I got sick or something the day before. I can't remember what popped up. I was like, damn it. And then it was like the next 2 days later, I saw you post a picture like hanging out with them. I'm like, God damn it. And then I think Rockfeed posted a photo with them too a couple days after that. I'm like, everyone did it but me.
Yeah, dude.
Man, that's awesome. Well, dude, it's been again, like I said, a pleasure chatting with you. Do you have any more last minute plugs before we get out of here where we can get you on social media?
I think people are sick of me on social media, bro. I don't know. My name and places if you want to see dumb metal fun shit. There you go.
Very cool. Very
Check
cool. Stream Octane. And,
Stream Octane. Get it to number 1. Yeah, there you go. That's the plug.
Also, make sure to follow at Jesse Lee, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter /X, whatever that is. Jesse Lee Show on Twitter. I'm really bad at plugs. But yeah, and also, most importantly, make sure to share this episode with somebody that doesn't suck. All right?
Yeah.
Take it easy now, and bye-bye.